Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever and wherever you are watching and or listening to this theme park news update. I am the Chall, and today Chall Chats screams. Now this is at Thornton Hall Country Park in Bradford, and this is a brand new scare event. So we're going to go through everything about this event, including ticket prices, some opening times. We're also going to go through the 3 mazes you're going to experience and much, much more. So before we get started, if you are watching this on YouTube, make sure you like the video, comment down below your thoughts and opinions, subscribe if you are new around here, click the notification bell so you never miss another theme park news update. We're on the road to 3,000 subscribers. We're so nearly there now, and 500,000 views. Check out all of the content we've released, including stuff that we don't get to hear on Apple and Spotify, which is the trailers for the new attractions revealed by the parks. Along with that, ladies and gentlemen, if you are listening to this on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, please download, share with your friends, and make sure you go follow our partner website, The Deck, which is linked in the description on all platforms. Make sure you go follow our social media accounts on Instagram, X, and TikTok in addition. And for now, ladies and gentlemen, thrill seekers of all ages, I am the Chall, and let's Chall Chat screams in Bradford. So we're going to kick this off with the times and the prices for this event, for those of you who want to know how much it's going to cost for this particular one. So let's start off with some times. So the event will open at 6:30 p.m. each night. Queues for the scare attractions will close at half 9 each evening, and the actual event will close 30 minutes after the attractions close. Once inside the park, you can visit each live scare attraction, excluding Scream Less tickets. The Screams Arena, Fright Fear, and Pumpkin Patch are available for you to stay and enjoy until the park closes, half an hour after the queues for the mazes close. Now, in terms of your ticket options, you have got several different ones just here. You have got, first of all, the main ticket price, which it's saying it's £20 for the 18th and 19th of October, and £25 for the 25th, 26th, and then through from the 29th to the 31st of October. So you've got 5 days there where it's £25, and 2 days, the first 2 days of the event, which is going to be £20. Now, it's very important to mention that here on Chall Chats, we will be at the opening night, or the opening of the Screams event on the 18th of October. So if you do see us there, make sure you do say hi. Now then, you do have a bit of early discount if you are lucky enough to get them before they sell out, and that is Keen Screams tickets. They are £15. So for all the Keen Screams, this ticket is for the organised people who just cannot wait. A limited amount of tickets are discounted for those who want to get their tickets early. So if you want to book early, they are £15, and once they all sell out, you're basically paying £20 or £25, and that's it. But if you want to book early, and there are still some left, then you can pay £15 if you get them on time. So then, with your Keen Screams, this includes entry into the Scream Arena, entry into the live scare attractions, and of course they are £5 cheaper than the normal price whilst they last. So you better get booking them tickets early, and I've left the link in the description of the upload on all platforms. Now then, what about your other options in addition to your entry ticket? Well, we've got Scream Faster, which is £10. If you don't fancy waiting in the queue, then the upgrade is for you. Scream Faster means you can skip the queue for the attraction. So that is £10 if you want to skip all the queues and do fast track for all the mazes. Now then, Scream Feast is £11 per person, by the way. Pre-book your food voucher and save. On the night, you can choose from a beef burger, chicken strips, a gourmet hot dog, or a vegan hot dog, all with skin-on fries and a soft drink. So that's £11 per person, and it's pre-booking your food voucher and saving you some dosh. Now then, what about Premium Scream? So this is including fast track entry into the live scare attractions and the Scream Arena, plus food and a drink with the Scream Feast menu. And the Premium Scream ticket, in addition to your entry, is £16. Now then, if you're feeling extra organised, you can get the Scream Again ticket. So this pre-books your entry for an open ticket to next year's event in 2025, and that is £20 per person. So there we have some wonderful ticket options and a wonderful variety of opening times and ticket prices for each of the opening days. Now the one you're most looking forward to, and that is the attractions. But before we get into the 3 mazes, we have to talk about the rules. So this is the rules then for Screams in Bradford. Once inside the attractions, you must not touch any of the sets, props or actors. You must follow all instructions given at all times. The use of mobile phones, lighting of any kind, photography or videography is forbidden. So we will have to see what we can get you in terms of maze footage, in terms of the opening night. But if we can't get anything inside the mazes, then we will just give you full in-depth reviews. Of course, there will be a spoiler warning amongst the video itself, and we'll give that spoiler warning in plenty of time, so make sure you stay tuned for that on the 18th of October, or when the upload goes up, because of course we do have 2 events across that weekend, which we'll talk about in a separate video, so stay tuned for that one when October rolls around, and we'll give you a bit of a schedule update as to what's coming to the channel in Halloween this year. Now then, in terms of the attraction itself as well, you must walk, do not run. Trust me, there is plenty of stuff to trip you up inside them mazes. Now for your safety, you should not participate in the scare attractions if you have photosensitive epilepsy, heart disorder, a pacemaker, if you are pregnant, have asthma, claustrophobia, or of a nervous disposition, or of any other medical condition that can be aggravated by the experience. Now, in terms of the live actors inside the mazes, they are used throughout the park and within the attractions. They may make physical contact with you, but they will not harm you. You must not touch the actors under any circumstances, and failure to comply will result in rejection from the park without a full refund or any kind of refund. Now, throughout the event, you're going to experience live actors, adult themes, strobe lighting, loud noises, theatrical smoke, confined spaces, crawl tunnels, uneven floors, steps up and down, and theatrical scent. Now, I'm not going to tell you where you can experience them. You're going to have to find that out for yourself. But let's get into the 3 mazes opening up in the opening year of Screams at Thornton Hall Country Park near Bradford. So we are going to be kind to you, and we're going to leave the most extreme maze till last. We're going to start off with maze number 1. Now, the first 2 that I'm going to speak about are for 14 and up. The last one will be 16 and up, so stay tuned for that one if you're listening or watching this update. So let's start off with Jinxed. Dare you step behind the curtains and venture into the grotesque backstage of Carnival Jinx, crafted by the deranged mind of Jinx, New Orleans' most terrifying jester. These previously unseen corridors of terror are home to the most disturbing band of misfit carnies and clowns that ever walked the earth. Each step through this backstage maze unearths chilling oddities and monstrous outcasts. Do you have the courage to explore what lies beyond the joy and jubilation? Welcome to Jinxed, where bad luck is the least of your problems. So let's talk a little bit about Jinxed, the first of the 3 mazes. By the way, if you want to check out all the price information, everything like that, website will be linked in the description on all platforms, both visual and audio. So Jinxed is a very interesting concept. It is carnival based. It's very circusy. However, it's not clowns. This is jesters, or you can include clowns regardless. And this is going to be very interesting. It feels Joker-esque. So you're very much stepping into a mad world. You know, Gary Jules, mad world. And this is going to be a very interesting attraction. I think that it's going to have, I think this is where the uneven floors may come into it. This is where theatrical scent might come into it. I think that obviously the live acts are going to be very much insane, twisted, crawling, walking, running. This is why you shouldn't run in the attractions, because the actors could run up at you. They're going to make physical contact as well. You know, there may be some male and female clowns or jesters that may grab your legs and touch your arm and feel up and down your shoulder, etc. We don't know what they're going to do in there, but I think this is very much Carnival of Screams. You know, that used to operate at Alton Towers Scarefest. You know, if you think of any other clowns or clown-themed mazes, Corny's Cornival at York Maze Howl-O-Scream, we're looking at something similar to that maybe. Reincarnation that used to operate at Howl-O-Scream as well before Corny's Cornival, funnily enough. Again, I think that's going to be very interesting to see that, how that's all dealt with and things like that. So I'm really excited about Jinxed. I think it's got humongous potential to be one of the best carnival mazes in this country. I can't wait to experience it on opening night. It's going to be brilliant. By the way, thank you very, very much to Screams, the event, for inviting me down at the event this year on the opening night. Really privileged to be on the opening night and invited by the event itself to come down and cover the whole thing and review the whole thing for you guys on YouTube. For those of you listening as well, we're going to do an audio version of the show as well from the event. So stay tuned for all of that. And yeah, this is going to be an amazing, amazing maze. It's going to be a really, really nice maze. And I think that this carnival theme, people can say it gets overused, etc. I think Jinxed will be a perfect juxtaposition to that. And I think that Jinxed is going to be a really, fun, terrifying carnival maze, should we call it. I think that's the best way to describe it. A fun but terrifying carnival maze. And I'm really excited to see what Jinxed is like on opening night this year. The next maze, again, 14 and up in terms of age rating, and this is Malkin Manor. Step inside Malkin Manor with world-famous vloggers of the unknown The Haunt Hackers. Big up The Haunt Hackers. This isn't just a visit, though. It's your ticket to witness history in the making. For one night only, The Haunt Hackers will be proving definitely that there is life after death. Can't get my words out. Be there as their cameras, armed with the latest in spirit detection, seek to uncover the truth behind the manor's cursed legacy. Will the shadows reveal themselves, or will the manor's twisted tales come to light? Dare you explore Malkin Manor? So, Malkin Manor, you are joining the Haunt Hackers YouTube channel, and you are exploring this spiritual world of haunted happenings. And again, in terms of the rising attractions and scare mazes that I'm getting vibes off from this, the Legend of Crackle Hill at Fear Factory. Obviously, it will be Crackle Hill, the summoning this time. Again, it's much more like that, I feel. Obviously, it feels very much like Curse at Alton Manor as well, in terms of the whole idea behind a Manor storyline and how that's the main setting of the storyline. Again, it feels very much in terms of, and again, I spoke about this on a previous Halloween update recently, House of Monsters. The fact that you're going through and you're following this vlogger who wants to experience the hauntings of the house. Again, it's very like that in terms of you're joining a bunch of vloggers, you're going inside this manor, you're wanting to find out the spiritual beings that happen inside that manor. It's very supernatural, very spiritual. There's going to be some spirits, there's going to be some white face paint with some black eyes and things like that. It's going to be very ghost-like. There's going to be some stuff moving. I think there's going to be. I think there may potentially. This hasn't been described yet, but I do what I'd like to see in this particular one is maybe a couple of little animatronic moments, if it's possible. Whether it's just a bookshelf moving or a book animatronic sort of flying off. Well, not flying off the shelf, but imagine if like a stack of books on a shelf, and suddenly an animatronic sort of makes one of the books kind of slam on the shelf without breaking the shelf, obviously, and it can reset itself and things like that. I'd like to see something like that. Probably won't happen, but even just something as a still bookshelf, that would be just some good theming there to represent the librarian section of the manor. I think that overall, the theme is going to be very, very interesting. I like the fact they're going with a manor. I like the fact they're not going with just a typical haunted house. I like the fact they're going with a proper manor with this one. So in terms of the facade of the attraction, I expect it to be pretty decent. So I just can't wait. I think this is going to be a wonderful, wonderful maze. I think that the team at Scream is going to do a wonderful job theming it up. And Malkin Manor looks like it could be a brilliant maze. And I think that there's some real ghostly beings that are going to fright us inside there. Obviously, I'm waiting for one of these mazes to receive some kind of chainsaw effect. I don't know whether that's going to be. We might speak more about it later, but Malkin Manor could receive a chainsaw. I don't think it would do. I think the Carnival one, Jinx, will probably be more or less likely a chainsaw finale or some kind of chainsaw happening inside. So if you're not fond of them and you do end up seeing one of them in the mazes, then just quit while you're ahead if I were you. And yeah, Malkin Manor is going to be a wonderful experience, and it's going to be a really nice, ghostly, spiritual, haunted walk through this terrifying manor, and it's going to be really interesting to find the spirits that are lying inside as well. And finally, this is the 16 and plus scare maze, and this is Blackmarket. Enter the shadowy underbelly of Blackmarket, a rave shrouded in secrets, where euphoria meets its end. The derelict Harrison Sons meat processors isn't just the hottest new rave venue. It's a maze of terror, pulsing with the unseen horrors of human trade. Joy turns to fear, dancers to victims, caught in a sinister cycle of capture and despair. Will you dance through the danger, or is this your rave to the grave? Now then, there is some extra rules with Blackmarket. You will experience group separation, isolation, restricted vision, we'll talk about that in a sec, mild electric shocks, I'm terrified already, sections where you'll be restrained, sections where you may have a hood placed over your head, Jesus Louise. Actors may forcibly move you, and adult themes feature in our attractions and scare mazes. Parental discretion is advised. Holy Mother of Hail Mary. Blackmarket sounds like one of the most extreme horror mazes in the country this year. Wow. I mean, Jesus Louise. I mean, this is going to be an interesting maze. I think that immediately in terms of storyline, you're looking at the Pogo Club at Fear Factory with the rave section, mixed in with a bit of flesh pot at Fear Factory, at York Base Hellscream, sorry, where you've got this kind of slaughterhouse meets rave, or a rave turns into a slaughterhouse. I like the fact they're not going with one or the other. I like the fact they're taking a gamble and a bit of an experiment, mixing the two together. And I think from a storyline perspective, I think that the two merge together very, very well, from the description anyway. Obviously, inside the maze, we'll see what the theming is going to be like, and I'll talk to you as much in detail as I can about what can I see within this experience, take as many notes as possible after the experience, regardless of how my breath feels after being scared for so long inside the attractions. But I think that, like I said, first of all, the combination of a rave and a slaughterhouse in terms of how it works the storyline, I think it'll combine together very, very well. And I think that, for me, I'm just really excited to see how this is going to blend together. Now, let's list off just some of those extra rules. Group separation, again, very subspecies at Alton Towers from back in the day. For those of you who experienced that, I'm sure you can agree with me there. Group separation, very subspecies style. You've got the hood over your head. Again, it sounds very much like part of it. Obviously, group separation means you could do different routes, which I think is very, very creative and innovative. Obviously, sounds like one of those routes could be very much a hood section or a bag on your head maze. For those of you who've experienced Haunting of Molly Crow, The Passing, just listing a few here, so Molly Crow at Alton Tower Scarefest for a year, The Passing at Thorpe Park Fright Nights, that was replaced with Cabin in the Woods for 2013, because that was the Lionsgate partnership start. You've got, obviously, Donny Fear Factory's new maze for last year, which was Diabolus, the Keeper of Secrets. Spoiler alert, that was a hood on your head maze. I won't tell you where it is, but there was definitely a hood on your head. I love those type of mazes. I can only speak from experience from those type of mazes. It's very, very disorientating. You don't know where you are. You're being led astray. You're being led by a guide rope. So that was very much Passing, very much Molly Crow, very much Diabolus. And you're basically being led on this guide rope with a bag on your head, and you could be spun around, you could be sent into a different direction, you could be sent the wrong way, you could be sent a different way, and then you finally get into the sanctuary of this the other end of this church with Diabolus, for example, and then you get the hood taken off you, and then the rest is for you guys to experience yourselves. But like I said, first of all, I love the fact they're taking risks with this one. There's a, and it's not a negative. I think it's a gamble is the best way to describe it. I won't call it a negative. I call risks a gamble. I won't call them a negative at all. I won't call anything a negative, personally. I think anytime something could be seen as controversial or potentially some people might not work, I just call it a gamble or a risk or an experiment. So I think there's plenty of experimental features within this particular one. There's a lot of stuff that might not work. There's stuff that could definitely work to its full potential. The hood on your head, the group separation, the isolation, the fact there's different potential routes with this one. You've got being forcibly moved. Again, that's going to be very, very extreme. Some people may not like that. Some people may like that or prefer that. So I think there's some pretty unique elements with Blackmarket, and I think that overall this is going to be a wonderful extreme maze. And The mild electric shocks I'm terrified about because I don't know what I'm going to expect with that one. You know, I get now why there's quite a few, I wouldn't say health risks, but I can get now why there's a few kind of medical questions or medical kind of, you know, reservations about why you shouldn't go in here because of this reason, this reason, this reason, this reason. I get why there's quite a few now, because if you're going to experience things like separation, isolation, hood on your head, mild electric shocks in just that one maze alone, I think that's going to be pretty terrifying. So I think that Blackmarket sounds like a wonderful attraction. I can't wait to experience it and actually go through all this torture myself. Obviously, I'll give you guys full reviews of the mazes as per usual with all the events that we visit this year. And I, for one, can't wait. Screams at Bradford is producing an incredible first year. And here on Chall Chats, we'll be here to cover it every single step of the way. So there we are, ladies and gentlemen, thrill seekers of all ages. That is everything you need to know about Screams at Bradford in 2024. This is the first year of Screams, and I, for one, cannot wait to see more mazes being introduced into this event's history. I'm always going to remember the first year of a new event. I think it's really, really symbolic. I think it's very, very important to keep these memories alive. I can't wait to cover the first of hopefully many Screams events for years to come, and I'm so excited to experience all three of the mazes, as well as the Screams Arena, the pumpkin patch, and everything around the site. It's going to take at least an hour and a half to 2 hours to experience all this, and with this event opening at 6:30, it means making sure I get back to the train station for like 9:30, getting back on the 10 o'clock train from Bradford, which will end up, you know, getting back into Donny for midnight, etc. And then and obviously we'll speak more about it when the schedule comes out for October, but we do have a scare event literally straight away the day after Bradford. So I, for one, cannot wait for this. I hope you guys are really excited as well. Make sure you do like, comment, subscribe on YouTube. Make sure you download on Apple and Spotify with this news update. Stay tuned for everything coming up from both Screams and all the events we cover this year live at the locations. And for now, ladies and gentlemen, I am the CHALL. Ta-ra for now. And that is the end of your theme park experience.